The college basketball experience Pac-12 season preview for 2023-24 final season on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog has just added Pick'em Scorchers, where you can win 100 times the amount of money you enter. That's right. Turn $5 into 500 in one game. Plus, every Sunday they're giving away $100,000. Use the promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for 100% deposit bonus up to $500. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today, people. Plus, the NBA is back, and so is the NBA Gambling Podcast. And to celebrate, we're giving away a NBA Gambling Podcast hoodie, perfect for sitting out your games. You know what I mean? Like if you want to take the night off, like most of those players, you can sit back in your sweet NBA Gambling Podcast hoodie. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA dog for all the details. And remember, folks, as always, to let it ride.
What's up, everybody? This is Cameron Krog from Loyola Chicago Ramblers, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride. Shout out to the Broad Stop. Thank you, guys.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the Pac-12 season preview on the college basketball experience. Oh, yes. Look, you might have a hard time finding the network, all right? The Pac-12 network in its final year, but don't worry. The games are happening, all right? They're out there. You got to check your score app or whatever the fuck you got. But no, shout out to, look, I'm actually bummed out, man. I grew up on the East Coast. I didn't have any affiliation to the PAC, but I can tell you this. I do think the sport is better when you have a Pacific Conference. All right. Now they kind of deserve all of this based on the way they've managed their conference over the past 10, 12 years. But at the same time, I am not relishing in the fact that it's going to be destroyed, even though I do think the Big 12 is going to be super exciting. I think the Big 10 is going to be super boring. And you know, there is that. All right. I'm joking a little bit, but I mean, this is a conference. Obviously they had to run a stretch. I mean, this is over 100-year conference where UCLA won like every fucking national championship ever. You know what I mean? They had like one of the most dominating stretches in all time in college, in really sports in general, not even college. So, a little bummed out, but at the same time, you know, this is what happens when you don't fucking water your garden. You see what I did there? Pick Dundee, gardening 101. Folks, you're probably wondering who the hell you're listening to, and that's fair. My name is Kobe Swinging Database Dad, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
Yes, and we've actually had a conversation in the office. Will Bill Walton still do games? The guys tend to think he's going to do the Big Ten. I don't think I see Bill Walton in Iowa City. He might do selectional Big Ten games, like the local UCLA and USC games. Maybe the Oregon, Washington games. But I would be pretty fucking shocked if I saw him calling games at Northwestern. I am joined by my co-host, and I want his take on that in a second. But give it up for, hopefully you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. Give it up for former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin, the host of the Big 12 College Experience, which you should be subscribed to, and the Ryan and Rush Show, which you should be subscribed to. Give it up for Ryan McIntyre, aka Moneyline Mac. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. You know, Bill Walton should come over to the future Conference of Champions in the Big 12 because, I mean, we won 2 out of the last 3. We're getting Arizona. We're getting Colorado, who's a good program. And Utah's solid. And Arizona State, you know, they're up and down. But, yes, I agree.
If they get San Diego State, he lives in San Diego. So you would have San Diego State, the Arizonas, which I know he loves, Utah and Colorado. He loves all that. All right. That fits. The shoe fits there. But where do you think? Yeah, I don't know about. I mean, yeah, maybe. Yeah. I can see him lighting some couches on fire if with the amount of marijuana he smokes, maybe on accident. But what do you think? I'm just assuming he's done announcing you, or maybe local USC and UCLA, or local UCLA specifically, maybe.
Or will he just go to the West Coast Conference with Gonzaga? Or if Gonzaga joins the Big 12. I mean, then he's really in a pinch. I don't know. He is getting up there. He also is fucking senile. I mean, we just get entertainment because usually, or 95% of us are drunk when we're watching that game because it's usually about midnight Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific, and it's like, Bill Walton's on with his fucking tie-dye shirt on. Let's see what the hell he's saying. And then midway through, you go, did he really just say that? I love Bill Walton.
My brother hates it actually because he's like, I'm trying to watch a game and I got this guy telling me about fucking Yosemite National Park, and he's like, I just want to watch, and I dig it personally. I like it, but I don't know. Look, we are joined by third man in the booth. Word is he's brought a girl to a few national parks, show her a good time. This guy's the host of the College Baseball Experience, the man behind the scenes of the college basketball and college football experience. Just a fucking legend, great guy, hell of a son of a gun. Should run for president one day. Give it up for Noah Beanick. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, guys? We're talking about Bill Walton. I mean, like, I'm going to miss him saying, the Conference of Champions. And then you think to yourself, when was their last basketball national championship? The Big Ten always kind of gets ripped on for not having won a recent national championship. But then you go actually look into the history and you see, the last one for the Conference of Champions was 1997.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's tough.
Wow.
For Bill Walton, for Arizona. For Bill Walton, though, that felt like yesterday, right?
Arizona should have beat Duke that one year. What year was that again?
That was like 2000.
I know, but that one I'm still mad at that one because I bet my brother Nick. Yeah. And I'm still legit really mad about it. I feel like Arizona was the better team. But
I tend to agree with NC Nick. Analysts and or announcers that kind of make the game more about themselves, or they're always talking over the action. I tend to lump Bill Walton and Dickie V into this category with each other. I tend to,
really
sometimes put the TV on mute.
I don't think NC Nick would agree with your Dickie V assessment because he was a huge Dickie V fan. Maybe now, but I'm saying like
Duke Vitale.
Yeah, that's true. Duke Vitale.
Yeah.
It's my book Vitale too. He promotes his book every game too.
Well, and look, I think Vitale's gotten a lot worse through the years. I think everyone should, be, okay. But Walton, I'll tell you this: if Walton's doing a Cal UCLA game, it's boring. He brings entertainment to a boring ass game.
Yeah, it's true. And
you know what I mean?
Hopefully Dickie Vitale is doing better. I hear he came down with another form of cancer. So
definitely thoughts for sure. And look, but here's the thing, like Madden was one where it worked. John Madden was one where I felt like he became, the personality was bigger the game, but I would go out of my, he's the only announcer probably ever, maybe Gus Johnson, where I would seek the call. Like Gus Johnson, college basketball, when he would do March Madness, I don't even think Gus really for college football. When he would do March Madness, I would purposely want the audio on that game. For the NFL, like John Madden, if he caught a game, that's the only announcer I think I ever would like. I actually believe there's like a pandemic in this country about announcers getting paid. Like Tony Romo gets paid a shit ton of money. I wouldn't know the difference of him calling the game and the next guy, right? so to me, Madden's the only one that I would actually dictate where like. Oh, if he's battling another game, I'm gonna put it on because John Madden's calling the game. Maybe Gus, and I think probably Gus Johnson during the NCAA tournament would be one. Do you guys have any of those? Do you guys have any of those that would you say I would put it on specifically because of an announcer?
Yeah, no, definitely Gus Johnson in college basketball. I heard enough of Gus this last weekend, mispronouncing whatever the hell he was pronouncing Marvin Harrison's son's name. I don't know what the hell that was.
Maserati.
Maserati. I was like, and maybe it was just because I had Penn State. I was like, shut the hell up, Gus. But you know what? My favorite moment of Bill Walton in the Pac-12, to bring it back full circle, was the COVID year when the Pac-12 completely dominated the NCAA tournament, and Bill Walton's just there smiling, but he couldn't go to the games because nobody could go to the games. He was right all along in the COVID year. Of course, that's the year that the fucking Pac-12 went on a run because there was no fans.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
The Pac-12 was pretty awesome that year.
Oh yeah, electric.
So Noah, there's no announcer that you seek out to hear a call.
I mean, I go for like the local radio guys. Like for me in Detroit, the Tigers radio guy and Dan Dickerson's really good, and then the Lions with Dan Miller. Our Red Wings TV broadcast is excellent. It's actually been voted like the best in the NHL for a couple of years. But I mean, I don't really go around bragging about our TV broadcasters.
Yeah, no, I like I said, to me, like ever since Madden, there's not one in football that I even Madden towards the end of his years, I thought like he probably should have retired a few years before that.
Bad broadcasters tend to stick out more to me than good ones.
Yeah, but all of them are bad to me. Like, I mean, look, my thing is like they're so vanilla. Like they might do a decent job calling the game. Like I said, Tony Romo. Look, I'd have nothing against Tony Romo besides the fact he was a Cowboy, right? What's that?
I got one, and we kind of work for him now. Musburger, I loved Musburger.
I did too. Actually, you're right. You're right.
Yes, and when I'm not just saying that because we got to deal with Beeson with Sean and Ryan, but I loved Musburger. You are looking alive.
The Eminem interview is amazing.
Yes,
with him and Herbie.
I mean, I loved Keith Jackson, but I would never go purposely out of my way for Keith Jackson. I thought he did a great job, but anyway. Folks, I know you're probably wondering what the hell am I listening to? I'm trying to listen to the Pac-12, team previews here.
This is the college basketball experience, though. We kind of go all over the place.
It's true. Nothing is off limits. All right, just like Bill Walton. We might start talking about Sequoia National Park in the middle of this thing. But look, before we get to start previewing teams, I want to tell you that the college basketball experience Pac-12 season preview is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog has just introduced Scorchers. Go 5 for 5 and pick up Scorchers and enjoy a spicy 100 times payout. And for a limited time, Underdog has extended their first deposit bonus up to $500. And every Sunday they're giving away $100,000. Holy shit! Look at that, $100,000. Yep, 10 lucky players will win $10,000 each and every week on Sundays. Look, I mean, I have a dog. I have a couple dogs I like college football wise. I think I already got around to this. I like the Colorado State Rams. I think they're live. I think me and Mac were just talking UConn potentially live. So check it all out, folks. And look, watch along, make picks, maybe make a little extra cash on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. When you sign up with the promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $500. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by the NBA Underdog Contest. Yes, the NBA is back, and to celebrate, we're giving away a NBA Gambling Podcast hoodie. Yep, head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA Dog to submit a screenshot of you playing NBA Underdog using our promo code SGPN, and one random winner will get a NBA Gambling Podcast hoodie. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA Dog. Once again, that's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA Dog. All right, we are back on the college basketball experience Pac-12 season preview episode. So folks, maybe you haven't been paying attention to college football, which shame on you. Shame on you. But so just to do a quick breakdown, Washington State and Oregon State don't have a home right now, right? Or the home is the Pac-2. And I really hope and I really think they deserve all of that money that is left, because looking at, and I don't know if you guys have followed this, but looking at what Klavikov did to when USC and UCLA left the year before everyone else left, they got rid of them and they excluded them from the money. So this is the same exact scenario here with Washington State and Oregon State saying, and they still have TV contracts and NCAA tournament contracts. They can profit $100 million over the next 2 years. I think something crazy like that when you add everything up. So I know they're battling out in court. They left on their own free will. The other schools left on their own free will. I think Washington State and Oregon State deserve that money. But Arizona State, Colorado, Utah are now in the Pac-12. Now in the Big 12. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, baby.
Oregon, Washington, UCLA, USC are in the Big 10. And Washington State, who had some great years under Tony Bennett, college hoops. It's been a little bit though since they had a run. Kyle Smith doing a good job, but I feel like he needs to jump to that next tier. Oregon State was in the Elite Eight, 2-3 years ago, right? But they had a terrible year last year. Yeah. And obviously, they've had guys. Obviously, Washington State, Klay Thompson, Oregon State, Gary Payton come to mind, Brent Berry, stuff like that. Hopefully they can land on their feet. But just to keep you up to date here, let's jump on over though and talk about the first team here. What's that?
You forgot the two that are going to the ACC.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
The move that makes no sense.
Maybe makes less sense. Well, I don't know. I think USC and UCLA joining the Big Ten still was the shocker. But yes, Cal and Stanford in the ACC. How did I forget that? I know how I forgot that is because
stupid.
I mean, what? And I'll be honest, man, Cal back in the day, man, in the 90s, they had some guys. I loved watching Cal in the 90s when they had Jason Kidd, Lamont Murray, Gino Carlisle. They had guys, man. I really enjoyed watching the Cal Golden Bears for a stretch there. And Stanford, shit, they were in the Final Four with Mark Madsen and his terrible fucking dance that set white people back 500 years.
And now he's the head coach of Cal.
Yeah, wild. All right, speaking of wild, let's talk about the Arizona Wildcats.
W-I-L-D Cats. W-I-L-D Wildcats. W-I-L-D Cats. Wild about the Cats.
We are wild about the Cats. Tucson, Arizona. Fun. I enjoy Arizona as a state. Tommy Lloyd's in year 3. He's been fire in the regular season, but damn if he hasn't been terrible in the postseason. Their home environment is awesome. They're going to fit in fine with the Big 12. But they lose Tubelis. They lose Courtney Ramey. Kirk Krishna is now at West Virginia. Cedric Henderson, gone. All of them gone. But they did land a couple guys. Kashad Johnson from San Diego State. What's going on? You make the net. Wait a second. Okay. Wait, I know they're not in the same conference. San Diego State was close to being in the PAC, by the way. Close to being in the PAC. Wait a second. You went to the national championship.
Yeah.
And what you wanted? What is that? Did it run too late into your summer? You're just like, let me go to Arizona. I know I can be out by early March. I'm joking, but that is surprising to me. That's a nice get though. He's a good player. Caleb Love, the big one there from North Carolina, had to get out of there. Never a good situation when your girlfriend's fucking the whole team. So those are two big gets. They also got Jaden Bradley from Alabama. And that's essentially what they did in the portal. Now, freshmen coming in, they are the San Antonio Spurs. They brought in multiple players from Lithuania. Yes. I'm not even going to pronounce their names. Sorry. Also, KJ Lewis comes in. They return Kylan Boswell, Played about 15 minutes a game as a freshman. Also, Pele Larson is back after averaging just about 10 points a game. And then they have Omar Ballo, I'm sorry, the big man, 7-footer. He's back. I mean, you expect this. You know what I expect? I expect this team to be fine in the regular season. But I do think, like, from a roster standpoint, they're not as talented as a year ago. But sometimes, sometimes that maybe you have too many cooks in the kitchen. Maybe it works out. Maybe they're better this year. Either way, I think they're obviously contenders to win the Pac-12 championship. Mac, your thoughts on Tommy Lloyd? And I'm probably going to catch them against Michigan State and Palm Springs in a couple weeks here, I think. What do you make of this team?
Well, it's obviously an intriguing team. Any team that has Caleb Love is going to be intriguing. So, I mean, Tommy Lloyd comes over from Gonzaga, wins 60-plus games in 2 years, but, of course, has bowed out in the NCAA tournament back-to-back years against Princeton in the first round and then Houston the year before that in the Sweet 16. So, everybody's kind of waiting for him to make a run. I agree with you. They're not probably as talented, but they're probably more athletic and a little bit tougher with this team. They're going to be right there in the mix because they're Arizona and they got enough guys. I think you make a good point about less cooks in the kitchen, but the Caleb Love thing's the whole wild card. You just don't know how that thing's going to mix. I'll say top 3 team with the chance to win the league.
Yeah, it seems like every year they're like that. That home environment they have is great. Noah, what do you make of these Wildcats?
Yeah, Tommy Lloyd, he loses his 4 of his top 6 scores from a national 2 seed last season. We know the tournament success hasn't been there, but a regular season success has. This was a poor shooting team last season. The offensive success ran through the 2 bigs down low. Tabellis is gone, but Umar Ballo had a couple of huge performances in the Maui Invitational. He averaged 14 points per game last year, 8.5 rebounds. His production slowed in Pac-12 conference play last year. To stimulate the outside shot making, Lloyd brings in Caleb Love, which, he just couldn't get in through the admissions department at Michigan. Just you hate to see it.
I would say that's your loss.
I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I'm happy to not have to figure out that experiment. I need to see how this team works with him on the court with my own 2 eyes. Everybody can say whatever they want. All these journalists going out over and scouting and whatnot. But, the best player on the floor is Ballo. Who wants the ball in his hands 80% of the time? It's Caleb Love. Who's distributing the ball? It's sophomore Kylan Boswell, who showed glimpses of success last season, but his role this season just grew tenfold. As he's got to continue to make his teammates, happy with the opportunities that they get per game here throughout the season. I shouldn't doubt Tommy Lloyd's coaching capabilities, but to me, this Wildcats team, especially offensively, seems like a my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn kind of offense here. So I have to see how this one plays out.
I mean, they're still going to be in contention right there.
100%.
Yeah.
This we were talking back behind the curtain or whatever. This was the hardest high major conference for me to kind of predict here because there are a couple of good rosters without a good coach, and there are a couple of great coaches without a good roster. Arizona's probably one of 2 teams that I can fully get myself behind in this conference. I have them in the top 2.
All right, let's jump over and talk about their rivals who they meet every and I'm glad that rivalry is not going to get fucked up because I love the Dust Bowl between Arizona and Arizona State. They were 23-13 a year ago with Bobby Hurley 11-9. Things didn't work out for. I mean, this team. Bobby Hurley's still there, by the way. 9th season, unbelievable. I don't know what type of dirt. What did you record on your phone? I don't know, but I mean, I feel like this is a broken record for me. I think this roster is very talented. I actually think this roster could win the Pac-12, but would I bet that? Not a chance in hell. But when I look at this, okay, Desmond Cambridge gone, DJ Horn gone, both Cambridge brothers, by the way, gone. Warren Washington gone. But Man,
You think this roster's winning or could win the Pac-12?
I think his roster's talented. I think Frankie Collins can ball. I think that they landed some nice pieces. Adam Miller, hello, this guy was like a big time recruit at one point. You know what I mean? They have.
But I don't think he's going to get waived here.
Well, obviously pending on and he shouldn't be because he fucking transfers every fucking 10 minutes. But Sean Phillips comes from LSU. Zane Meeks was at Nevada prior to San Francisco, and he was solid. Kamari Lands comes in from Louisville. They get the kid from Tulsa, Salabange, something like that. Alonzo Gaffney is a guy that I think could be solid this year. I mean, look, I don't think they're going, especially I don't think they're going to get that waiver. But I feel like whenever I watch Arizona basketball over the past 5-6 years, even actually a little bit of the Herb Sendek era too, I always felt like, hey, they got guys. Why are they so shitty in a way? You know, they're not shitty, but I'm saying. And by the way, you're on Arizona Wildcats. Put the Sun Devils on the bottom there. But I don't know. I feel like when you watch them, you see talented players, but yet they can't beat average teams a lot of times. UC Riverside, remember that fucking full court shot game winner? It was fantastic. But Mac, you think I'm spot on like? I mean, I don't think they're going. I don't think they're even going to contend. But every time I watch Arizona State, I'm left thinking that they got guys. How about you?
Yeah, well, and this is how fucked up this program is there's not even a name that we mentioned. Jose Perez is on Arizona State too now from West Virginia. The guy
That's
from
right.
Manhattan.
That's right.
So
yeah.
add another fucked up element to their program. Maybe he'll actually play.
Is he going to get away? Oh no, he's going to get a waiver because he sat out last year.
Yeah,
he was already cleared.
Yeah. This has dumpster fire written all over it. They got so lucky last year. I mean, they hit they were getting ready to fold, and then they hit like a 60-footer against Arizona somehow to win. I think the luck goes the other way this year. I think this is a dumpster fire team. Too many guys from losing programs. You mentioned it coming over. I mean, you look at somewhere where these guys came from: Louisville, Tulsa, LSU, all those programs, Houston Christian, all those programs sucked last year. I think this is a dumpster fire. They may finish last. That might be my bold take. I could see them
talented, man.
But I could see them quitting on Hurley. This thing, they can beat anybody, but they can also lose to anybody. That's for damn sure.
True, very true. I mean, Hurley should have been gone. I mean, I guess I could see something where they just can him mid-season if they're disappointing. Let the assistant get a shot. But Noah, your thoughts on the Sun Devils?
I think Colby's take of this roster could win the Pac-12 is bolder than Mac's take. This roster finishes last in the Pac-12.
When's the last time Arizona State finished last? I bet you it's fucking over 20 years.
Just the amount of hot seat talk that is going on with Bobby Hurley right now. I wouldn't be surprised if this team just falls apart.
You know why he won't get fired though?
Well, he got to the tournament last year. He kind of overachieved what people expected last year.
He won't get fired because the AD will get fired first.
And that's a good point.
Yeah.
The next day he's going to come in and clean house.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, last year he kind of retooled the roster with transfers. He got to the tournament, brought in the two Cambridge brothers, Frankie Collins, Warren Washington. But, you know, they lose 9 players from last year's team. They kind of have to retool again. Mac kind of took most of my points on, you know, Tulsa was like, 4-24 against the spread last year. It was all-time bad. All-time bad. Louisville, all-time bad. LSU is pretty damn bad in the SEC too. It's not a great situation here in Tempe.
Chad G says he got your Denver Pioneers season tickets. So
I know I saw that. I already displayed it.
I think Denver Pioneers might be able to beat Arizona State.
I think you're off, guys. Look. Here's the thing I know about Hurley. They'll win games they're not supposed to. They'll lose games they're not supposed to. That's why they'll never finish dead last. They're too talented.
They could be in the 8-9 game.
We'll see. I'm excited for this shit talk throughout the season. Let's jump over and talk about the next school, the California Golden Bears. Mark, Matt, I'll be honest. Me and my brother, because back then it was me and my brother mainly doing this show. When they hired Mark Fox, we said, huh?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
we were like, what are they trying to do? So that went how I thought it was going to go. I actually like this hire. I like this hire a lot, actually. I think this hire can get Cal back to where, they're respectable. Mark Madsen is a new head coach. Go and get one of the arch rivals. This is the old Bo Schembechler thing. You know what I mean? You had Ohio State ties. You bring them in. You go to the rival and you say, hey, what can you do for me? It needs to be, man. Like I said, I can remember times as a kid where, another thing that's hurt is the Warriors have been really fucking good, obviously. But I remember a time like mid 90s where a Cal home game was fucking lit.
Yeah.
What happened to those days? Maybe Mark Madsen's the guy to bring them back. They lose their whole team, but once again, they were so ass. They were 3-19 last year, 2-18 in conference. Wait a second, 3-19.
It was a joke whether Cal
3-29, I think, right? Yeah. They lose everybody though. I mean, I could read through this. Thieman's gone. Every good player that was on their team last year, with the exception of Grant Newell, is gone essentially. Oh, Devin Askew's back too. He, obviously former Kentucky Wildcat. Those two are back. Also Monty Bowser. So 3 guys return. But here's what I love here is getting Fardaz Amik, who played for Madsen at Utah Valley a couple years ago. And then the big one, and I saw this guy play last season at Northern Arizona, former Virginia Tech Hokie, Jalen Cone. He can play. He can shoot. Then they went out and got Keontae Kennedy as well from Memphis. They won the portal. Jalen Tyson also from Texas Tech. I mean, I'm kind of fascinated to watch this team this year. I know it's been a long time since I've said that about Cal basketball. Quanzo Martin, maybe one of those teams, but I think they could be a little bit of a surprise team in the Pac-12. Mac, what do you make of these Golden Bears?
Yeah, Stanford, you guys fucked this up. This should be your head coach right now.
Yes.
He played there during the golden days for Montgomery, who also coached at Stanford and Cal, ironically.
Yeah,
so a lot of Benedictine going between Stanford and Cal. So have fun in the ACC, guys.
Yeah.
I kind of like this team too in terms of, I mean, it can't get any worse. And I do agree with the chat. I think Rob said it. Stats don't mean a damn thing when you're 3-29. You can take over a 3-29 team. Get the fuck out of here. You guys sucked, and we're cleaning house. So I like the transfers that he brought in. He's a culture guy. He did a great job at Utah Valley, going 28-9 this last year, 20 wins a year before that. Utah Valley wasn't a powerhouse when he took over, and he took them right to the top of the WAC. So did a great job at the mid-major level. I think he fits Cal. I mean, I know he went to Stanford, but he knows the area. So I think they're middle of the pack.
I do too. I actually think they're way more athletic than last year's team.
Could they be a sneaky top 4 team?
I think I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked. I think Madsen can coach.
I do too.
Noah, what do you make of these Golden Bears?
I'm right there with you guys, and I'm on Colby's side. Like, I think the additions of AMAC coming over from Texas Tech, he started the year like in non-conference. He didn't play at all with the injury, the foot injury. He comes back and he puts up 11 points and 8 rebounds a game in the Big 12. Like, that was pretty impressive. But I mean, nobody in the country really saw him play much last year. He played for like 2 months last season. So he comes over to Cal, gets another shot at the Power 5. I think he's going to do quite well. And then Jalen Cone was outstanding at Northern Arizona, takes a big step up here in the Pac-12. But I think this Pac-12, as we're going to go through it a little bit, I think it's down this year. And then Keontae Kennedy coming in with Memphis. He's a 5th-year senior. I like the roster. And then I'm going to say this. KenPom has Cal ranked second to last. Torvik has Cal ranked second to last.
No way. No way.
We take a look at the schedule.
I'll bet heavy money on that.
We take a look at the schedule, and you have to back this team early because Torvik, with the preseason spreads, they're actually favored in the first 5 games. Like, those spreads are going to be quite low compared to what we're thinking this team's going to be. They don't really get a chance to jump up and bite somebody until November 25th. which is Thanksgiving weekend. That Saturday, they play San Diego State. So early on, they're going to be favored in quite a few games. The spread's going to be low. Then when San Diego State comes, we'll see how legit this team is.
By the way, Jalen Cohen played at Virginia Tech too, Noah.
Another side note, AMAC. I don't know. I didn't think you mentioned this. I forgot to mention this. AMAC started his career with Mark Madsen at Utah Valley. So he's back.
Colby mentioned.
Yeah. Okay. My bad.
All good, man. Yeah, I'm excited. I circled that team as one that I'm like, oh, I'm glad I have a Russian, a Russian TV provider to watch the Pac-12 network. I'm joking. Sort of. Folks, next up we got my boys. My boys. Where the fuck is where's my theme music? All right. Where the hell's my theme music? It's somewhere here. Why am I having a hard time finding it right now?
Because you got 90 tracks on that soundboard.
Yeah. Wait. Give me my theme music.
Colby, I'll mix together Dion's voice saying that, and then I'll get you that tune for the show for this.
Let's go.
Right.
I like that. So look, here's the big thing for me. I've been a Colorado fan for a long time. I mean, I am speaking to any Colorado fan listening to this. Donnie Boyce era, Martise Moore era, pre-Chauncey Billups era, but even after Chauncey Billups, we got a little bit better. They were so bad in the 90s. So fucking bad in the 90s, short of maybe 1 year. They got better. Tad Boyle has done a great job. Now, I am really excited about this year's team. However, one thing that's always bothered me about Boyle, and like I said, and I love the fact Boyle has built this thing up. Mm-hmm. But even on their best teams, which made the NCAA tournament a couple times, they were super fucking inconsistent, and it drove me crazy. You could watch them beat Kansas, and then the next night lose to, back then they were in the Big 12. Some of those years they were in the Big 12. They could beat Kansas, or maybe it was a non-con game against Kansas, and then they lose to Cal or something like that. Last year, I think it happened. They lost to Cal, and they beat, a big time. Maybe it was Arizona or UCLA. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, can we put it together? Because I love what I see from this team. They lose a few guys in the portal, but they're all kind of, they weren't gigantic pieces. They were 18 and 17 a year ago. They went to the NIT second round, but I am a big fan of KJ Simpson. I think he's a fucking dog at the point guard spot. And that has me super excited about the future of the Buffs. Oh, and the fact they bring in, depending on what service you use, some say the number one recruit in the nation, and Cody Williams, a freshman, 6'8".
He probably saw his ranking get knocked because he committed to Colorado. You know how that goes.
Oh, Cormani McLean style, huh? Also, they have Tristan Da Silva, brother of Oscar. He's back, and he's a very good player. He averaged 16 points a game last year. Julian Hammond III can play. And then they go out and get Eddie Lampkin Jr. from TCU. This is going to be on paper the best team that Colorado has ever had. Luke O'Brien on the bench, Javon Hadley, all played major minutes a year ago. This is on paper the best team that Colorado's had probably ever. I mean, at least in my lifetime. How are they going to fuck it up? Because I'm like, I need to see a consistent, Tad Boyle. That's the one thing he's never done to me, is be consistently good. Like, even when you lose, that you can have good losses, right? That hasn't happened under him, in my opinion. Like, occasionally will be a good loss, but you have some really fucking bad losses, even on their best teams. I can't wait for the season to start and watch the Buffs And I know they landed another big recruit for next year too. It seems like the Deion effect is helping this a lot. Mac, your thoughts on the Buffs?
I love this team. I mean, you mentioned it. It's kind of rare in college basketball where you get multiple guys that contributed big minutes, and KJ Simpson and Tristan Da Silva to come back. I mean, they averaged 32 points a game. I thought they got better last year as it went along. They got absolutely screwed against UCLA in the Pac-12 tournament by the officials, or otherwise they would have been playing in the semis and maybe got to the dance. Who knows?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think adding Lampkin to that group, I think this is an NCAA tournament team, and I mean, Tab Boyle's never been past the second round. I think they could get to the second weekend with the right draw. I really like this team. They got size, experience, and I think Tab Boyle's do. And I think the energy from football, I know they've kind of hit a little bit of a wall in the first year of Deion, but I think the energy of going back to the Big 12 where they belong is really going to help this program start fast this year, because they dropped a game to Grambling last year. Like that can't happen. Like
and Cal, and Cal. I think Cal was one of those losses. Yeah.
Yep.
Noah, your thoughts on my Buffaloes and why they're going to win the national championship?
Look, Colby, I thought you did a great job covering this team. I mean, it's obviously your team. A lot of these notes are the same for me. I love the experience that this team brings back. Da Silva, Simpson, Hadley, Hammond, Luke O'Brien, they're all upperclassmen. Then they go out and get Eddie Lampkin, who is another talented big man. He's a redshirt junior. And then Tad Boyle stimulates his roster with a really good recruiting class that features Cody Williams. So it's a nice mix of experience and youth. How high Colorado's ceiling becomes is it relies on Tad Boyle. And if he's got the coaching prowess, KJ Simpson, he does kind of get into the tendency that he'd be a little shot happy, launch up some perimeter
but
shots.
He's tough, man. I actually
100%.
am a huge fan of how he plays the point to me. I mean, maybe he shoots a little bit too much, but he is a tough point, which I can't get enough of tough point guards as far as we'll go in there. We'll go with the bigs, try to take it up on them.
He had plenty of volume last year. He shot 27.5% from three. That's the one thing that nerves me because there's so much talent around him. He's got to distribute the ball here. But I mean, you get a team brand of basketball, the Buffs. They're one of those teams here where they have a really damn good roster. We haven't seen Boyle do it yet. We got it. I mean, I would be much higher on this team if I would know that, hey, they have the best roster in the conference, because I truly do believe that, and they've got a really good coach. I don't know the coach part yet. What I will say, I'll add something new to this conversation. They're going to start 5-0. Colby, November 29th, they're at Colorado State. They're a favorite by 1 point. Rivalry game.
Oh yeah, I can't. That's the game Deion went to last year too. I mean, look, that game is going to be awesome because Colorado. I'm high on Colorado State too, and I can't wait to do the Mountain West preview. But that game's going to be awesome. And you said 5-0, and I think they'll be 5-0. But they do have Towson opening night. If you don't bring your A game, you don't bring your A game. Towson could bite you.
I'm going to push back. I'm going to push back a little bit that Boyle's not a good I think Boyle's a good coach. I mean, he's won 62% of his games. He's won 20 plus 8 out of 13 years. Colorado wasn't in the best place when he took over.
Oh, it was a terrible place. Terrible place. Sure. Yeah. No, he's done a great job getting this program up. It's just, I want to see even those teams with McKinley Wright or I felt like they would lose a couple games, and I felt like great teams don't do that. Right. So I always thought we were all right. I never thought we could get over that. Even though we beat Georgetown by 30 in the first round of the NCAA tournament a couple of years ago, I always felt like you could never trust them. You could never trust them. You know what I mean? I felt like you was never. And I want a team. I want this program to get where I can trust them to at least be there's certain programs you can trust. You can trust certain teams. They'll be a tournament team. They can beat these teams. They rarely lose to a team they shouldn't lose to. No, that's never been the case with Colorado. So that's the thing he's got to prove to me. But he has done an unbelievable job thus far. They have no reason to ever consider firing him right now, I would say.
Especially think, not with maybe their best team ever entering this season.
I think they could turn into a West Virginia, to be honest. In terms of they're both could be in the Big 12. They both have really freaking hard places to play at, and you just got to embrace the culture there.
Yeah. Oink Oink says, can they survive the new Big 12? It's going to be interesting to see.
By the way,
it'll take at least a year. Yeah.
By the way, Hasty mentions Ruffin, who this year, Javon Ruffin, I think he suffered a season-ending injury in the preseason here. I got to look that up. But I don't think he's going to be playing this year.
I do want to say I saw him get injured. I didn't know how long it was, though. All right, folks.
Surgery, yeah, he's done.
All right, folks, before I get to the next team, I want to tell you that the College Basketball Experience Pac-12 season preview is brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. All right, we are back on the Pac-12 2023-24 championship. I'm sorry, season preview championship. What the fuck am I talking about? I've done too many podcasts today. I'm just bleh. But anyway, here we are talking Pac-12 basketball and just got done talking to the Colorado Buffaloes. Let's jump on over and talk about the Oregon Ducks, a team that pisses me off lately. This team pisses me off. This team, remember they made the Final Four, 3 years ago? Dana, was it 3 years ago? Oh yeah. Okay. Elite Eight. Yeah. I thought they beat Oregon State in the Elite Eight 3 years ago. Didn't they? Didn't they play each other?
They were no, they were in the Final Four with me in 2017. Dylan Brooks and that crew.
Okay. This team pisses me off every year because I buy into it. Of late, they've been a pretender. But I always think this team, this kind of like they've kind of started to become more Arizona State like than before when I actually could really trust them. For like 10 years, they were like really, I could buy in. They were 21-15 a year ago, made the NIT. Dana Altman gets rid of a ton of these guys. I mean, Will Richardson's gone. Quincy Gary transferred to fucking his 30th school. They lose a ton of production. Four guys that were like major contributors from a year ago. They have former Colorado guard Keyshawn Bartholomew. He's back. They have former South Carolina Gamecock Jermaine Cousinard. Those guys are pretty good. And Fale Dante's played like 3 games every year, but hey, he's talented. When will he? Let's set the over under. Will he be healthy by Christmas? I say no. Yeah. They have Nate Biddle, who is a 7-footer that got a little burn there as a sophomore. They went out in the portal and brought in a Georgia transfer, Cario Oquendo, which I think was a pretty fucking good get for the Ducks. They also brought in Central Michigan, fire up chips, your boy Noah, Jesse Zoella.
Vuvuzuela.
Is that how you say that?
No, I'm just making fun of the horn that the soccer teams use.
Okay. I was like, I don't know how to fucking say his name. But and then they have a bunch of freshmen that are talented. They're Arizona State, same team. They'll lose to like Montana in the season opener, and they'll beat UCLA one time, and we'll say, and then I'll buy into it, and then they'll lose again to someone I would not expect, like Washington State. They'll go to Pullman and lose, and I'll never understand this team. That's what they've become. Altman was a great coach. He's done it for a long time, but like, man, lately it's just, I thought they might fire him last year. Mac, your thoughts on the Ducks?
I'm actually higher on this team. I think I'm going to trust Altman to get this thing right. He hasn't had back-to-back years where he's missed NCAA tournaments since his first 2 years in Eugene, which was about 13 years ago. I mean, you just rewind a couple years ago, they won back-to-back Pac-12 regular seasons in 20 and 21. I think that they were a little bit unlucky last year, lost a bunch of close games, and obviously were hit by the injury bug. I'm going to trust Altman to get this thing turned around with this new transfer portal group.
I mean, I thought he did a good job in the portal. Thought he did.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Noah, your thoughts on the Ducks?
So 4 seniors and a junior in the projected starting 5, but the depth concerns me with this team. Only one guy on the bench played any minutes in high major basketball last year, including 4 newcomers to D1, 3 freshmen that make up a top 10 class, and Jadrian Tracy from the JUCO ranks. The fact of the matter is that Dana Altman, he's an amazing coach. They expect a lot from N'Faly Dante, and a few of these rosters in the past have struggled with health. That's something that I'm a little nervous about.
That's the thing. If N'Faly Dante plays if he's healthy all year, they could win the fucking Pac-12.
X factor, Dante's health. That really is the thing here, and it's. I don't want to place any doubt on Altman as a coach, but if he has a roster last year where they physically only have 2 guards on the team that are healthy, because that was a scenario last year. They lost all their guards due to injury. That's a bare bones team, and it's tough to project. So I like Altman. I like the starting 5 here. Depth concerns me. With continuity and talented freshmen, Oregon might be getting slept on, but I don't know how high I'm going to have them in my rankings.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's tough. I mean, if the team stays healthy, they could be. I mean, they're like Arizona State to me. Like
they're worth a sprinkle 9-1 in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree.
They're a wild
look,
card.
Actually, they're better than Arizona State to me because I can't ever trust Bobby Hurley coach teams. Altmaier, I has proven to me that he's a very good coach. So
yeah,
but he's kind of they've gone the past couple of years. I would say they're on the Arizona State level. How about that? Either way, let's get to the Beavers. They're rivals, man. Elite. They couldn't.
Wayne Tinkle, baby.
I like Wayne Tinkle, man. I do. Former Montana Grizz coach. You know, this team, I wanted them to ride that momentum from the Elite Eight. They caught lightning in a bottle, won the Pac-12 tournament, went all the way to the Elite Eight 3 years ago. And then they've been ass since. Now, some of that was the portal. They got robbed in the portal. And I know they don't have the money that Oregon does. But, man, it seemed like it happens again because Glenn Taylor, gone. Their best player, gone. They do return Jordan Pope, who can play. And they did bring in a College of Southern Idaho transfer. No idea what that means. But look, I mean, they got some returning pieces, but you know, he did such a great job that year they made the Elite Eight. They found a bunch of diamonds in the rough in the JUCO ranks, and some of those guys transferred. One of them went to Houston. After and was a stud at Houston. I don't know. I just feel like you look at this team. Sure, they have Michael Rataj. He's back. Played 21 minutes a game. Dexter Akano played 26 minutes a game a season ago. They got some other guys that contributed double-digit minutes, like 4 or 5 guys, double-digit minutes from a year ago. I like Wayne Tinkle as a coach. I kind of think momentum's going the other direction. Mac, your thoughts on the Beavs?
Yeah, they actually have a shitload of guys back. They kind of were really young last year, took their lumps. Wayne Tinkle, obviously since that Elite Eight run, I'm looking at it right now, 14-49. So that's it's not what you draw up. And they had their associate head coach leave because the NIL was not a good situation. So I mean, I'm going to trust that Tinkle's going to take a little bit of a step. I think there was a stretch there where they were around 16-16, 18-15, around that. And then if they can catch lightning in the bottle once again in the Pac-12 tournament, maybe they can, because it feels like Tinkle's teams do always perform well in the Pac-12 tournament. I'll say around a 500 team. I think they're going to take a step forward because of all the guys back.
Noah, the Beavs.
Yeah, if there's one Pac-12 school that I'll kind of hitch my wagon to, it is Oregon State. It's more for the baseball side, but I like watching the football team, and basketball team had a nice run there. But
Nice Beaver.
Right now, though, it's not pretty. It's Jordan Pope, and then I'm hearing good things about the front court. Like they want to be high on the front court, but they're both sophomores. They barely played 20 minutes last year. Michael Ratai and Tyler Bilodeau, I'm talking about. I think it's another rough year for Tinkle, and honestly, I think you wait out Tinkle because let whatever's happening in the Pac-12 happen. Oregon State probably plays a Mountain West competition next year. See if Tinkle can do well in that conference.
Yeah. All right, folks, that's side A. We got a hammer side B right now. If you're on YouTube, stay put. If you're on the audio side, make sure you check out side B where we go through the rest of the Pac-12 teams. All right, we are back on the college basketball experience. Pac-12, this is the B side. We already previewed Arizona State, Cal, Colorado, Oregon, and Oregon State on the A side. Go listen to that. I'm here with Moneyline Mac and Noah Beanick as we jump into the next squad here in the Pac-12, final season of the Pac-12. The Stanford Cardinal. You know, Jared Haas. How does he do this? He's got photos of somebody. There's something. How the hell is I 14 and 19 last year, 7 and 13. I thought he was fired. Nope. Stanford way. They don't care about sports anymore, apparently, huh? But yet they care enough to join the ACC. Harrison Ingram's gone. Michael O'Connell's gone. They go and get Jared Bynum. I like Jared Bynum. I was shocked he went here. I mean, what?
NIL. I didn't know they had NIL there.
Out of all the places, I kind of figured Bynum would be at Georgetown. But they do return Spencer Jones, who was a stud. I mean, look, they returned some major minutes. Michael Jones, Spencer Jones, the bigs, Brandon Angel and Maxime Reynaud. I mean, shit. Even the bench, Max Morrell, James Keefe. Yes, that Keefe name. Remember Adam Keefe. This is the most I feel like they're better than what I like on paper. I still think they're towards the back of the Pac-12. Mac, your thoughts on the Cardinals?
Yeah, Jared Haas survive and advance. He's in his 8th year. He's 112 and 109, 59 and 72 in the Pac-12. You know, I took the Tree Huggers a couple times on the money line late. They were kind of a live dog late. They lost a bunch of close games early, but why would I think that they're not going to be 500 again? That's what they've been under Haas. I mean, it's every year they're 500. So I do like Bynum. I like that addition. It comes from a winning pedigree under Cooley at Providence. But I mean, I'm not backing this team to be anything more than a 500 team. Them and Cal are kind of similar to me, but I like Cal's trajectory more in year one of Mark Madsen.
Noah, your thoughts on the Cardinal?
Call me a tree hugger. I like this team.
Huggers.
Yeah, 4 seniors and a junior in the projected starting 5. 4 of them averaged 9.5 points a season ago. And honestly, they're feisty on the board. Spencer Jones, 4.5 rebounds. Brandon Angel, 4.5 rebounds. Maxime Renaud, 6 boards. I think this team actually, they bring back the second most minutes from a season ago. They're the 3rd most experienced team in the Pac-12. If I'm betting on experience and the roster instead of coaching, this is one of your better teams in the Pac-12. But like I said, I had a hard time really handicapping the Pac-12 here because the teams that do bring back a lot, that have a lot of experience, I question the coaching. I think this team's a middle. Mac put the stamp on it. They're always 500. That's where I have them in the Pac-12. I've got them maybe higher than most people, but I think their ceiling's probably 5th in the Pac-12.
All right, let's jump down and talk about the UCLA Bruins. We were talking about toughness, and I know we were talking Lavin. Under Howland, they were tough, and then they went to Alford and they got soft again. Ben
soft
Holland
as
had
fuck,
had them pretty tough. If anything, they couldn't score. They were super tough. Mick Cronin enters year 5. They were 31-6 a year ago, 18-2 in conference, and obviously Tiger Campbell gone, David Singleton gone, Jalen Clark gone, Jaime Jaquez gone, Amari Bailey gone. All those guys were awesome. So we expect regression, but they do return. Bona, who was a key player that got injured a year ago, 23 minutes a game a season ago. And they have a couple other guys that played some minutes. Dylan Andrews played about 11 minutes a game a season ago. Will McClendon, and then Nwuba, or Wuba, I think it is. Kenneth Wuba, the 5th-year center. They bring in the talk about all around the world. They're all these freshmen coming in all around the fucking world. They go to Turkey, they go to Spain, Slovenia. I mean, Coronado High School. I do know that. Down there in San Diego, all across. I mean, you want to talk about a team that it's hard to get a gauge on.
Yeah.
I do think they'll be talented though, because they've been recruiting at a high level. So sign me up for UCLA being I think they'll probably be in the NCAA tournament, and they'll get better as the season goes along. Mac, your thoughts?
God damn, they bring in a shitload of foreigners. I mean,
Yeah.
Slovenia, Spain, Turkey. I mean, they're going everywhere. They're going international. Which I actually was a little bit surprised. I guess
Cronin would do that, right?
Yeah, a little bit surprising. I do agree with you. I'm gonna definitely fade him in the non-con, and then probably I'm gonna trust Mick Cronin's track record of getting his teams better each and every year. I mean, at Cincinnati, he made the NCAA tournament each and every year. I think the last 8-9 years there, and basically made the tournament every single year at UCLA. The one year he didn't really make it would have been the COVID year that got canceled. But
would it shock you if they won the Pac-12?
No, just because of Mick Cronin. It wouldn't shock me.
Yeah. And then Noah, you say, yeah, it would shock you, huh?
Yeah, I'm selling stock in the UCLA program this year. I think the floor is really, really low.
What's their odds,
UCLA,
Noah, by
actually.
chance? Oh, 380.
They're 380. They're the
Definitely
third.
not
They're
betting
the
that.
third highest betting favorite in this conference. So I think the floor is really, really low. Like, I think they could finish in a bottom half of the Pac-12. Just there's not many coaches that are better than Cronin in this league. It's the least experienced group in the Pac-12, and they bring back the least amount of minutes, according to Torvik from last season. There are a lot of underclassmen here for Mick Cronin. He'll be relying upon this season. Quite a few of them are coming in from overseas, as we've mentioned. Cronin, he coaches a tough brand of basketball, and he's got a top 20. He's had a top 20 defense in each of the last 2 years, but all of his older, experienced guys who bought into the system are gone. Now he needs these guys to buy in, and there's a lot of pressure on Adem Bona, their big man, to be a big time scorer, and we just haven't seen that from him yet. Guys, they play Marquette, their 4th game of the year. Mac was talking about fading this team early. They play 4 big non-con games. Marquette, they're getting 1.5. I'm hammering Marquette there.
Yeah.
They're getting 5 points against Villanova on the road. I'm hammering Villanova there. Ohio State, they're laying 1.5 on a neutral court. I like the Buckeyes there. They're laying 4 against Maryland. I like Maryland there. I'm selling stock in UCLA quick.
They'll finish top 4.
It's just a
Culture.
known thing.
You bet on the coach. I'm not betting on this team.
Let's go 20 minutes away. Well, depending on what time, but what time you go. The USC Trojans. Andy Enfield doing a hell of a good job, I think, at USC. I think he's done the best job I can ever recall in my lifetime for a USC basketball coach. Last year, 22-11, 14-6. They lost in the first round, if memory serves me correct. They lose some key guys though from a year ago. Drew Peterson gone. Trey White gone. Reese Dixon Waters gone. However, they bring in LeBron James' son, Bronny James. Hope he's doing okay after he had a heart attack in the offseason.
No kidding.
Also, Isaiah Collier, which is supposed to be one of the best players in the country as far as like top recruits. They bring back Boogie Ellis, who I feel like's been in college since Vietnam, and I mean, they bring in DJ Rodman, the son of Dennis Rodman from Washington State. He transfers in. They return Kobe Johnson, who I thought flashed a little bit last year, averaged just about just shy under 10 points a game. They still have 5th-year senior Joshua Morgan, the big man. I mean, I kind of think this team is going to be better than last year. What do you make? What do you make of this team? I mean, assuming Collier's as good as the hype, I think it's a really good starting 5 if he's as good as the hype. I think they'll finish. I trust Enfield. I think he's a very good coach. Mac, your thoughts on the Trojans?
I do like Enfield, but I feel like he's better with the kind of under the radar team. So I'm going to sell USC. They kind of like from the football standpoint, a lot of hype for this team. I know, like we mentioned the whole Bronny James incident, but I mean, if Bronny James is good to go and coming off the bench, I think that's a real dynamic. I mean, not everybody's dad is LeBron James. So I think that's a real dynamic. I like Boogie Ellis, but I'm going to sell the hype with USC. I actually, bold take, UCLA will finish higher than USC.
I mean, I don't think it's that bold for me, at least.
I think everybody's just falling in love with this team, just with the potential and the hype. And I like to fade these teams with hype coming into the year.
Yeah. Noah, what do you make of these Trojan men?
I'm on USC. I've kind of gone the opposite way of Mac on a few of these teams. Again, Pac-12, not one of my favorite conferences that I've handicapped so far, but I think just in general, I think it's your best combination that you're going to find in this conference. And there's a good coach in Andy Enfield, a great guard in Boogie Ellis. There's talent on this team and overall experience. There's plenty of it. On paper, USC has maybe the most talented backcourt west of the Rockies. Like, I'm hesitant to buy in all the way on a couple of the freshmen in the preseason, just like I always am. But Isaiah Collier, he's kind of flown under the radar as the number 1 guy coming in this freshman class. Like, his teammate, I don't know what you want to call it, but they're both in the same class. Bronny James, he's actually gotten more attention, which I think
that makes sense. Yeah.
I think it's actually better for Collier. I really do. Like, nobody's talking about this kid, and he's kind of flying under the radar. Bronny's a nice piece. I think he actually fits this team better defensively because Boogie and Collier are going to lead this team offensively on the backcourt side. And Bronny and Kobe Johnson should be really, really good defensively for this team. In the Pac-12, Boogie Ellis, he's going to be one of the best overall players. You're talking about he's coming back as a 5th-year senior, and then add in 4-year Pac-12 forward Dennis Rodman's son DJ. I think the Trojans they'll be competing for a conference title this season.
Noah's siding with the NBA guys. The NBA guys like the USC team.
Like I said, best combo of coach, talent, experience. I think it's USC.
Before we get to the next team, I want to tell you that the college basketball experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Look, Underdog has just introduced Scorchers. Go 5 for 5 and pick up Scorchers and enjoy a spicy 100 times payout. And for a limited time, Underdog's extended their first deposit bonus up to $500. They're giving away $100,000 every Sunday. Yeah. On Underdog Fantasy, 10 lucky players will win $10K each and every Sunday. What are you doing, folks? Get on over there, watch along, make picks, maybe make a little extra cash on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. When you sign up with the promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $500. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. All right, we are back on the college basketball experience. Talking Pac-12 basketball here. The Utah Utes are next. I like Craig Smith as a coach. Thought he did a great job at Utah State. 17 and 15 a year ago. I feel like they're getting better. I feel like they're getting better than Larry Kristoviak's days. Can they make that jump though? Man, this program back in the day, you want to talk about a complete 180. Utah football and basketball. Telling you, as when I first got into college hoops, Utah was like that one place you didn't want to play at. That's now become them in football. In football, they used to be like 5-6 every year. Basketball, they used to be a fucking juggernaut. Now it's the other way around. You go into the football stadium, it's hard to get a dub. Basketball stadium lost all of its luster. Can Craig Smith bring it back? I would love to see it because I think they could be super fucking good. They lose Marco Anthony and Lazar Stefanovic combined for about 20 points a game. However, I mean, there's some guys that I think you can be excited about. Brendan Carlson was a stud for them last year. He's back. They have 2 7-footers because they brought in Lawson Lovering from Colorado, which, I mean, to transfer from Colorado to Utah, there's a special thing I want to do. The hell is this? You played 1 year at Colorado or 2 years at Colorado? I think it was 1. I don't remember. It's a nice get for them though. They have some height on this team. Cole how do I pronounce that? Bahama transfers in from Washington. He had a decent year with the Huskies last year. They have Gabe Madsen back. I mean, this is a Ben Carlson. I mean, they have some experienced guys. Davion Smith transfers in from Georgia Tech. He's still waiting on a waiver. I mean, talk about a mystery team.
Yeah.
I think they'll be middle of the pack, but I mean, wouldn't shock me if they were better than what I thought. I think the field is open this year more than ever. UCLA is reloading. Seems like Arizona is reloading a little bit. Maybe Colorado and USC have this hype, but it's open. Like maybe Cal or Utah can be one of these surprise teams and you know, fucking win. I wouldn't even find it that crazy if they won it, but I still think they're going to be average. Mac, your thoughts?
I think this is maybe a top 4 team in the league. I think this team could get to the dance. I think Craig Smith's building something at Utah. The first year he kind of took the lumps, 11 wins. Last year made a jump to 17. I think they're going to be a 20+ win team. You mentioned it. They bring back a lot of continuity. They're old. They're old and they got size. I kind of really like this Utah team in year 3 of the Craig Smith era before they head over into the Big 12 to make a big jump this year.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. I can buy into it. It's the question. The question is like, well, they're super tall. Does that still work? Does that still work?
Arizona in this league last year?
Yeah,
they're big at the guards too. Like that.
Yeah, they're a tall
6'4",
fucking
6'6",
team, man.
6'7". Yeah. They might play zone. They might play some zone.
I'm super fascinated by watching them this year too. Noah, your thoughts on the Utes?
Second most experience returning this year. Second most minutes returning from last year. Craig Smith, I agree with Mac. He's building something at Utah. They probably lose their best shooter and Lazar Stefanovic, and they also lose Marco Anthony. But they return 4 starters and Brandon Carlson, who was really damn good last year, averaged 16.5 points per game, grabbed 7.5 boards in about 29 minutes per game. In general, this front court's very, very good. Davon Smith is probably a guy they would love to have this year. But up top, they technically, I think it would be best for depth. But bringing in Pajema from Washington and Raleigh Worcester was great last year. I mean, he had 5 assists a game last year, and he was very good at taking care of the ball, and he was feisty on the boards. Had 5 rebounds last year as a point guard too. So I'm high on this Utah team as well. I think they're also a top half team in the Pac-12.
All right, let's talk about the the Washington Huskies.
Oh God.
Once again. How he still has his job. This is the worst of all of them, I feel like. Like, I mean, they have had some super talented teams. And 16-16 last year, 8-12. What's funny is last year was one of the least talented teams. So like they actually went like 500. One of those years they won like 6 games, and I felt like everyone on the team was good. They went out and hired Larry fucking Brown to be an assistant coach here. Or I don't know if it's assistant coach. It might just be analyst or something, but he's 83 years old.
He's trying to get that job.
I could. Oh, can we set the over under on how many times Larry Brown's fell asleep at practice?
Man.
Over under 40. I mean, let's talk about this one because Keon Brooks is still in college. Keon Brooks is, dude. This team is talented.
Players.
They have
got good
players.
Yeah.
Xavier Wheeler transfers in. I mean, they get what's his name from Rutgers?
Paul Mulcahy.
That guy can play.
Yep.
Moses Wood.
Portland.
He was good at Portland. I remember watching
Great.
him. Yeah.
He was a big part of that game against Villanova.
Dude, Kepnang, the backup big man. This team could be good.
Could.
Oh my God. If you want to talk about why the Pac-12, like you want to talk about blunders, why the Pac-12 is blowing up. Yes, you could talk a lot about Larry Scott and their TV deal and the Washington president. It's like, we're worth $50 million and their football and basketball teams not performing at what they should. Washington in basketball should have been a tournament team every year, in my opinion. Every year, talent wise, they should have been in the NCAA tournament. But they've been ass, and that's why I'm dumbfounded that Mike Hopkins is still coach there. Still a coach there. But with every new year, maybe you learn something. I don't know. I mean, this team. I'll tell you this: based on roster, I think it's like a top 4 team, top 5 team based on roster.
Yes.
Yeah. Unbelievable. I have no idea where to place them. No idea. Towards the back is my guess. But Mac, your thoughts on Washington?
I have no idea. I mean, if you go off talent, I mean, they might win the damn league. They got the horses. And somebody said this is Hopkins' make or break year. No fucking shit. I mean, how many make or break years do you get? I mean, he's like a cat out there in Seattle. I mean, God, they got all the pieces if they could stay healthy. But I mean, I could see them being really good in the non-conference, kind of like what Arizona State usually does, and then just falling on their face in league play, just because that's when coaching really shows up and matters when you're seeing these teams twice a year in a 2-month span. So I don't know. I probably middle of the pack. I'll probably split the middle here.
Noah, your thoughts on the Huskies?
I have no idea.
As a guy who places a lot of his preseason predictions on returning experience and roster talent, I think this is the ultimate trap for me because I don't want to be caught too high on this team because the Huskies roster contains the most experience via Torvik, as the projected starting 5 has 4 graduate seniors and another 4th-year senior on it. But I say all of that, but I can't trust Mike Hopkins with you. He can't lead the team to where they want to be. I'll say this team's going to be very, very good defensively. Xavier Wheeler and Paul Mulcahy cannot shoot, but that backcourt is going to be damn good defensively. They come in through the transfer portal. Mulcahy, he seems like he's in Seattle for the NIL money. I'll just say that. Wheeler, he was probably exiled from the SEC, so that's why they're here in Washington. Moses Wood, he was a really good grab out of the portal, efficient shooter out of Portland. And as a wing, he was active on the glass, 6 rebounds a game last year to go along with 15 points. And then Braxton Maya is another really good center in this Pac-12. That's where this league's kind of getting slept on. A lot of good big men return this year.
The worst part about this is they should be a national power. They have a great fan base, right? In
Their
basketball,
home court's unbelievable.
Yeah, and the Seattle SuperSonics did too. I feel like the city is thirsty to be good in basketball. And they just, give them another year. Like, this team should be really good. They should be going out there getting the hottest coaching names. This is fucking insane.
I think this could be a tournament team with a different coach. But in his career, Hopkins has not had a top 100 offense, and I'm not sure he's getting the Huskies there this year either with that backcourt. So I think they'll play very good defense, but I don't think that gets Washington into the top half of the Pac-12.
Might be a second weekend team with a different coach.
All right, folks, before we get to Wazoo, I want to tell you that the college basketball experience is brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. All right, we are back on the college basketball experience, and look, talking about my guy, Craig Smith, man. I like Craig Smith, man. I want to root for Washington State. But damn, I mean, maybe this is the year, but damn, if you just brought back everybody, I feel like they actually could have won it.
Yeah.
TJ Bomba's a fucking stud. He's at Villanova. DJ Rodman's at USC. These other guys, Mohamed Gaye, he was good. Justin Powell, good. Now they do have to. I mean, they have a couple guys. Mullins is back. Jay Mullins, Jamakowski back. But this is like a fucking brand new team. Joseph Yusufu. I love this guy when he was at Drake back in the day. He goes to Kansas. Never heard of him ever again. Yeah. They brought in Isaac Jones from Idaho. The Vandals, no idea. They were ass. Transfer from Sonoma State. Shout out to Larry Allen, the former Cowboys guard. I think he's from Sonoma State. Was it tackle? Tackle, I believe. Jalen Wells. No, he was a guard. Jalen Wells from Sonoma State. D2. I have no fucking idea, but I'll tell you this. I think he's a good basketball coach.
Yeah.
17 a year ago. I put him at Washington. I feel like they're going to the fucking Elite Eight every year.
Does he?
You know what I mean?
So I was talking about it with Tinkle with Oregon State. I mean, he took a team to an Elite Eight. Kyle Smith, it's a little bit different. They've been 500 or a little bit below every single year. If he goes 500 again or a little bit below, does he get another year outside the Pac-12?
Yes, because they don't have any money. They're getting hit.
I think. I mean, and you also look at what he's done too. They finished 11th his first year, then 10th and 5th and 5th. So they're slowly climbing. I mean, just look.
He
at
doesn't deserve to be fired. Like he to me gets like the maximum out of his rosters.
Yeah,
maybe like give or take a game or two. Yeah, I think he's fine. What do you make of Wazoo, Mac?
I kind of like this team. I know they lost a lot, but I like Yusufu from Kansas, obviously coming over from that program, being around winning. And running the show. I kind of think this is going to be a sneaky team, man. I thought that they were way underrated last year, and they just couldn't get over the hump. Probably middle of the pack.
We said that about every team.
Yeah.
Noah,
I'm telling you, Arizona State's going to finish last.
Noah, your thoughts on Wazoo?
I like Yusufu, but I don't know how to rate the rest of this roster here, and I'm not too high on the situation here with Washington State. Kind of feels like just you know what, get through the year and figure it out after. Because I mean, Kyle Smith, he's been about 500 every year. And with this roster, I think 500 is a success.
Yeah. I mean, I have no idea how to, the middle to the back. I mean, the whole conference really is fucking hilarious this year. All right, here we go. Let's start ranking here.
Good luck.
You guys need 20 minutes to try to put this together. At number 12, I have Oregon State. Mac, Arizona State, right?
Yeah, Bobby Hurley, basement. Done.
I love the Beavers, but I'm putting them there.
Mac. So at number 11. Give me Stanford at number 11. Mac?
Uh, yeah, let's go the Tree Huggers at 11.
Noah?
I'm a little higher on Stanford than 11. I got Wazoo at 11.
That's my number 10 is Wazoo. Mac?
I got the Beavers at 10. Wayne Tinkle, 10th place, baby.
Noah, number 10.
Arizona State.
At number 9, I have the Washington Huskies. I could be so wrong. They could win the fucking conference. But at number 10, I'm sorry, number 9, I have the Washington Huskies. Mac?
I went Cal. I was
Wait,
higher on
number
them
9, right? We're on number 9, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Cal. Even though I think that they're gonna be better than 9th place. I think it's gonna be a big jumble there. So kind of like I think in terms of 3rd place and maybe like 9th place are separated by like 2 games.
Yeah. Noah, who do you got at number 9?
I like the team. I don't like the coach. And this is not typically where I put teams like this, but I got Washington at 9.
Number 8, I do have Arizona State. At number 8, Arizona State. Mac?
I went Washington there. Perfect 8 games. Yeah. Perfect 8th place team.
Noah, who do you got at number 8?
Stanford.
We have just radically different. At number 7, I have the California Golden Bears. Mark Madsen, year 1. Mac?
I got Wazoo at 7.
Noah?
I got the Cal Golden Bears at 7.
There we go. At number 6, I have the Utah Utes. Mac?
This is where we get bold. Give me that soft ass USC Trojan team like their football team. They finished 6. Underachieve.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, I know. Caleb Williams effect. Load management. Load management arrives at USC.
Who you got at 6, Noah?
This is where we get bold. Give me Mick Cronin and the Beatles coming in 6 with all those Euros.
Woo!
Oh, you're gonna eat shit on that one.
No, you're eating shit on USC.
Get that NBA shit out of here.
At number 5,
The NBA's all Euros today anyway.
No, this is Mick Cronin, baby. Andy Enfield. He sold his soul to the devil.
At number 5, I do have USC.
There you go.
Mac, who do you have at number 5?
I went back and forth on this one. I'm going to go with the Utes of Utah.
Noah, number 5.
Oregon for me at 5.
At number 4, I have the UCLA Bruins. Comes down to a big, kind of final 2 weeks. UCLA steals that seeding spot from USC. In Cronin, we trust. Mac, who do you got at number 4?
I got our Buffaloes. Tab Boyle. I mean, he's nice, consistent. 4th place NCAA tournament for them and the Utes.
Noah at number 4. What are you doing, buddy?
I have Utah 4th.
Wow. Okay. At 3,
I love regular season front courts. Give me that.
At 3, I got the Oregon Ducks. If everyone stays healthy. Mac, who do you got at 3?
I got Mick Cronin. He's going to find a way in the top 3. Let's go.
Noah.
Colorado. I like this roster the most. That's the highest I could put them.
Well, I have them at number 2. Buffs, baby. Let's go. Mac, who do you got at number 2?
I got the Arizona Wildcats at number 2.
Love it. Noah, who do you got at number 2?
I have the Arizona Wildcats at 2.
Wow.
Oh, God. He's got
at number
that NBA
1.
at 1.
At number 1, I have the Arizona Wildcats. And my logic is simply this. I think it's the hardest place to win in the Pac-12. That was my decision making. When I was going through my top 4, I was sitting there UCLA, USC, Oregon, Colorado. I'm like, but where's the hardest win? It's at Arizona. That's my logic for having them number 1. Mac, who's your number 1 team?
I love taking good coaches with their backs against the wall. Quack, quack, baby. Let's go Ducks. Dana Altman gets it done.
Let's go. I mean,
9-1.
Wouldn't that be a great story? 9-1, folks. Get on over there. Shop to a drop. Noah, what are you doing with the number one team in all the land of the Pac-12?
Oh, it's not all the land. Give me the best combination of coach, talent, experience. I got the USC Trojans at number one in the Pac-12.
Let me ask you this: how many teams are dancing in the Pac-12?
Oh, not many.
5.
I think 5 can.
Yeah.
Noah?
My 5th would be Oregon if they stay healthy. I got 4.
Yeah. What's the worst case scenario? 3?
I think 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Best
How many
case
NIT
scenario?
teams.
Yeah.
There's a lot
you
of
could
NIT
have-
teams in this fucking league.
What's best case scenario? 7?
6.
Probably 6. Nobody watches their
Okay.
games. I mean,
That's
you can't
true.
find the fucking
That's true.
channel.
All right, folks, we got to get out of here. Sports Gambling Podcast show coming up in a bit here, in about 30 minutes. So stick around and look, give
Did
us
we
all
put
a follow.
a stamp on a tournament team, by the way? We didn't do that yet, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I did forget to do that. Who wins the Pac-12 tournament? I will say, where's it held? In Vegas, right?
Yeah.
A lot of Mormons in Vegas. Utah shocks the world.
I like that, yeah.
Let's go. Mac, what are you doing here?
So I got the Ducks winning the regular season in the final Pac-12/Pac-2. Justice will be served. Wayne Tinkle and the Oregon State Beavers do it again like 2021, and they're going dancing.
Please let that
Steeler,
happen.
hello.
Please let that happen.
I would love that.
Let's
I'm wearing
go.
the sweatshirt.
Let's
and
go.
I'm wearing the
Let's go.
sweatshirt, and I didn't even think of that. I love that prediction.
What are you doing, Noah?
Give me the good backcourt. Give me USC.
It's just going chalk and chalk, huh?
Yeah, sleeper and bust. I mean, it's kind of
This
obvious.
you
with a
can
couple of
literally
these.
say any fucking school in this whole thing as the sleeper. My sleeper though is, I guess you've got to say, like, based on projection, it's Cal, because I have Cal finishing 7th. That would be what, 5 spots higher than what projected. So that would be the sleeper. I don't know that means they're not going to be in the NCAA tournament, but I think they're the sleeper that goes a lot further than what people think.
I like
Mac?
that. I got Cal 7th.
Yeah, Mac.
I guess Oregon would be a sleeper. They're
Yes,
kind of
for you.
projected middle of the pack. Bust would be USC.
Yeah, my bust is I guess it's USC too, even though I have them 5th. I guess that would be the one. Would be USC. Noah, who's your bust? UCLA, right?
Yep. I got the Bruins as a bust.
It's going to be fascinating to watch, folks. Subscribe to the College Basketball Experience because we break down every single conference. And on November 5th, remember the season starts on November 6th. That means on November 5th, we're hard at work talking every single game. We've been doing this for years, folks, where we preview every single game, every single night of the college basketball season. We don't take nights off. All right. We're not the NBA. You got that shit for you. If you want to go check out, what is it? James Harden. Maybe he'll be at your local movie theater catching Mission Impossible or something instead of playing. We are doing it. College basketball is doing it. It's the best fucking sport on the planet. Let's go, folks. Subscribe. All right. Give us a follow on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. That's the College Basketball Experience. I'm on Twitter at DColbyD. Moneyline Mac is on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. Noah Beanick is on Twitter at Noah7 or Noah B. What is it again? Noah B77_. Sorry, Noah B77_. Give him a follow. You can watch us live, YouTube, every single night. College basketball season, youtube.com/the college experience. Subscribe, tell a friend. We also host many podcasts. The College Football Experience, the FCS College Football Experience, the College Basketball Experience, the College Baseball Experience, the Big 12 Experience. All of those come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. Subscribe, tell a friend. We're part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, and the Sports Gambling Podcast is something you should check out. You should also check out the Ryan and Rush Show. Folks, get the SGPN app. It's free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store. Come talk college basketball with us in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. And I cannot wait. I'll be honest, I got excited with this one, man, just because of the uncertainty. I cannot wait for November 5th, but not this Sunday, but next Sunday. We're going to be talking hoops, kicking ass in life. And folks, until next time, this is the college basketball experience, Pac-12 style. You better start thinking about yours. And we are somewhere out of here.
Yeah, it's got me thinking about the good shit. The minute that I seen your grill again, it made me good trip. Good dog the mind back like dog but wine there. Man, I didn't get mad when you near me hit the can back, but the comings on was strong. Now my shit's coming along, you know the song. The truth is I'm pretty much on fire again. It's heating up for real, I'm alive again. And that's the attraction factor. Vancouver, Michigan with my rap disaster. Yeah, you know you want it how you want it. No need to trip cause I got it, doggone it. It's all yours and the extras too. All the super music and the sex for hope. Just get it straight cause you caught me in a good mood. Let me demonstrate what this time of year could do. Yeah, sing it.